Alright, so just starting here with Omen, we're going to push over into B site. This is on the defender side to start with here. We're going to run, and we'll show you mid first from the B site perspective. So if you just come up these stairs to the right hand side from the spawn, you'll take a right hand turn, and to your right, when you get up to the top, is going to be B site down there. You've got a rope that drops you down onto site, or you can just jump. And that's going to be the main entrance into B site. If you proceed up a little bit and to your left, this is going to be your entrance into mid. Mid, of course, is a really important choke point that you're going to have to be able to hold in your game, so you don't get demolished totally. You can hide in this corner here and not be seen by people from mid. It's a good little spot. Pretty easy check though for attackers coming. You can just little quick spam there. So don't do it too many rounds in a row. All right, and now we're here back in spawn. We're gonna run up to actual B site lower. You're gonna do your main defense of B site. So you've got B alley that's gonna walk right up into B site lower. There's the rope over there that we were just looking at from the tower. And this area here, you can call this like under heaven, hell, lower ropes. They just call it B site on the map. You can see underneath the map, it's literally just called B site, which is really vague. So here's the main portion of the site. You can plant here. This is a pretty common plant spot. This is a pretty common plant spot that you'll have to look out for as a defender. And you can see the highlight on your map where it's a bit yellow on B site. That's the actual portion where you can plant the bomb. Like you cannot plant spike over here. It just doesn't work. You have to plant spike within this area here, and you can kind of see the outline on the ground where it's denoted that you can actually plant the spike. So that's good information. Yeah, you can't do it over here. But this is the main entrance for attackers to come into B site. So this is going to be really important for you to take and to smoke off. So as an Omen player, you can play up close, and if they're pushing into site, you can back out with teleport like that. Take advantage of the teleportation. Or okay, so you're playing here, you're shooting, they've seen you. You can get back to this part of site and then just continue to defend from back site back here now. So we're going to show you the best way to get to vents from the start of the round. So you're going to run to your left from spawn. You're going to take a right into this doorway. Walk up these stairs. Very simple. Okay, follow these cardboard boxes. Then you're going to run down. And there's going to be 2 ropes here. This area in general is just kind of called ropes. It's technically labeled mid vents, but just call it ropes. You're going to take this rope up, and voila, you're in mid vent. This is top mid. The attackers can push from this side or from this side, and I'll show you that when we get to the other end, how they can push from both angles. But just trust me, they can come from either the left or the right. So be aware of that. As an Owen player, definitely, just drop your smoke down.
Cover going out.
In the middle, they're very likely to smoke you out right here. That's super likely, so you can play a little bit forward at this box. And if they get too aggressive, you can always just teleport out. So easy escape for you there. If you need to help out the guy at B tower or somebody on B site, let's say the B tower guy got taken and it's a B push, you can get to the other side without being seen. So that's important to note. If somebody's lurking mid, you don't have a smoke anymore, you can skip right over that, get up into B tower, no problemo. Alright, so we're back into spawn now, and we're going to show you A site. So again, like you're going to mid, take your left hand turn, and I'll show you A heaven first, A heaven and A ramp. So we'll run the same way you would to get to mid. So there's the ropes down there, you're going to run past that, and this is A ramps. This is the choke point you're holding, okay? I'll run down here and I'll show you what it looks like. This is just a cubby. This is the actual entrance that the attackers will be taking. This is your key hold that you have to do. You're likely going to get smoked out or pushed, or both, combination. But you can easily, obviously, smoke off this choke point to start with, and just delay a push that way. You can play either side. You can play on this right-hand side, and you can either wait for the push or hope they don't push, or you can use it to peek out a little bit, take a couple of shots, and then switch to the other side. And hopefully, when they're pushing up, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be concerned about this left-hand side, right? Maybe, well, you can't spam it, but maybe they'll be trying to pre-fire it, but you're actually just standing right here, and they're gone. You got them. Easy peasy, right? The other place you can play from this general area is up here, which is generally just called Heaven. They call it a tower or rafters, but who needs those names? Who needs to follow the official names, right? So you can play from up here. A lot of people will play in this corner. You'll actually see a lot of Killjoy turrets up in this corner now too. So you can play it up here. It's pretty risky, just in general, to play from this angle, because if they pre-fire it or if they check it, and you're not, your aim's not on perfectly, you're gonna die pretty quickly. Hopefully you can get one, but you never know. You can, of course, teleport across and back out that way, or you can teleport to the rafters from lower. I'll show you what lower looks like in just a second. So if you want to get down to lower sight to start with, you would run past this lovely doorway here, and you would go down into what's called A screens. I believe that's because of these screens. And this is kind of your A long position. You've got this very long hold right here. So if you've got an op or a scout, I shouldn't call it a scout. I don't remember what it's ever called. Alright, if you got an op or a marshal, Counter-Strike brain. And then this is the actual site. This is the bomb plant area here. You can plant all the way back into this corner, all the way back into this corner. So it's a pretty good sized plant area, pretty common spot. It's just right behind the sign because it can't be seen from heaven. So that's pretty obvious, right? You can obviously, like I said earlier, you can play up close. You can try to take some aggression before they get to this point and hold this close angle, and then you can back out into here. You can back out into here. I mean, you can just keep kind of backing yourself off, crossing over the middle gap without them ever seeing you, obviously. The perk of playing Omen, so. Alright, so here we are. This is the attacker side spawn. This is what it looks like. You got some tall buildings. The map looks good. It's a nice looking, aesthetically pleasing map. This is where you'll start. Right hand side goes off to A site, left hand side goes off to B site. We'll start with B like we did on the defender side. So you run to your left, you head up this path here. To your right is going to be an entrance over into middle. Straight ahead is going to be your main entrance into B. We looked at this from the heaven perspective and from the lower perspective, and you just have this entrance into B site. Often it's going to be smoked off. It's going to have, you're going to have a Viper orb or something to that effect that's going to be blocking your path, simply because this is the main choke point. So you can flash out, you can teleport out, you can, you work with your team to figure out the best exit method. But as you come out, there's a couple of key spots you're going to want to look for. Firstly, right back here. Someone can be hiding behind this wooden structure, and they can shoot from here. As you turn the corner a little bit, you got to look for this. You got to look for this close play. All right, and as you push up, right there, still going to be key all along this line up to this corner, and here. So someone could be playing here. As an Omen, I can easily just sit up here and wait for you. It's a, it's a wait to die kind of spot if you don't make the kills, but it's there, so you got to check it. Omen or Jet could be sitting up there. So there's a ton of different angles. So your best bet is going to be to smoke off some of those angles so you don't have to worry about them. Alright, plop a smoke there is one option, okay? So you can push out and you can engage with anyone that's playing close. Check that corner. And then worry about heaven. Obviously you can also, being Omen, you can smoke off heaven as well. So that might be another good option. Is to just go ahead and smoke that off. Smoke that off. Maybe give a flash into this area of sight, and then take a push. Oh, I did a terrible smoke.
Cover going out.
Much better. There we go. Okay, so that's how it would actually look if you smoked it properly. And you would push in, okay, you gotta check this angle. Under ropes, if somebody's heaven, they get smoked off. There's a chance that they get a little aggressive. They pop down under ropes and they try to get you from here. There's a ton of angles you have to check. And that's just true throughout all of Valorant. There's just lots of little cubbies and things to check. So, and then of course you have to deal with anyone who may have backed out into CT side, or rather defender side spawn entrance there. So. Alright, so we're back over towards attacker spawn, right back that way. And you know how I said earlier that a major play for B site takes was going to be to split mid. So this is your entrance into mid. Instead of going into B main, you take a right hand turn, go up these little stairs, and you get access into mid. This is going to be your mid region. That's top mid vents right there. This is sewer, and we'll get to that in a minute, but you don't have to worry. If you're the attacker side, you don't have to worry about that, assuming that you have someone on A side just making sure that the defenders aren't getting crazy aggressive or anything and just slamming down sewers. But this is going to be your mid take. First things first, you have to smoke off vents.
Shadows traveling.
You got to smoke off vents. Somebody's going to be playing there with an op, a scout, a vandal, something or the other. They could obviously push up close, and then your next major point to contest is going to be this region right in here. Like I was showing you earlier, you can sit in that corner without being seen from mid. You see that? Until even right here, you might be able to see. You might, you can't even. You can't even. That's fine. I can crouch inside of that region, right? So you can try to do a little quick angle spam right here, but generally speaking, you're gonna have to push it. So you can obviously just take a quick flash, easy blind, quick spam, keep moving, check left, check right. So someone could be standing right here, but more importantly, someone can be standing right here, which you're not going to be able to see. So just be aware of that. Maybe have a teammate flash or a nade back there. Any rotating players are very possibly going to be coming up those steps, so you got to contest with that. That would have to be a really fast rotate, assuming you've pushed through mid quickly though. So, and then there you go. You get up the top tower. You can take aggression here, and then help deal with anybody on site as your B main players push out there. So just try to time that correctly. You're pushing onto site around the same time. All right, so we're back into spawn. We're back into spawn. Pushing to the right-hand side this time, we're going to go over towards A. First, I'm going to show you the sewers towards mid, and then we'll show you the A site push. So you run up, you take your right, you take a left, and you have this main entrance, which is into main A site, and then you have this left-hand entrance, which is down into ropes. This is like sewer ropes, and then this is a sewer. So you can just drop down, use the ropes to get back up. And then you can push up this way. So there's not a huge benefit to do this at the beginning, because what you're going to do is you're essentially just going to end up in the same place as these players, but it's going to take you longer to get there. It is good, however, for rotates. Rotates from an attacker's perspective. If you've got somebody, kind of playing for picks at A, and you're committing mid, you're going mid to B. It's the fastest way to rotate from A instead of going through spawn. So that's what it's really important for, is rotates. And then you can obviously run right past sewer, ignore that, and voila, here you are, A main. There's the ramps I was showing you earlier, and there's that long distance long range shot that you can make. So there's a couple of options here. Number one, you can smoke off
Cover going out.
all the way over there at screens. You can smoke that off. You can smoke off ramp.
Shadows traveling.
Alright, so it looks like this, and you can just push up and try to take any aggression there. Watch out for killjoy bots there, and then deal with sight. That's one option with your smokes. Obviously, Omen smokes, one of the best smokes in the game, I would say. The other option is you can smoke this
Cover
off
going out.
and just simply cross up into ramp. And deal with heaven. You can obviously have a rotate for mid, up ropes very quickly. Alright, and then you can contest a site from heaven. So that's another option. There's a bunch of ways you can take it, depending on the characters that your teammates are playing, the agents that they're playing. So you can push in this way,
Stealing sight.
flash sight, peek, and push in. I mean, somebody could be back here. I haven't seen a whole lot of people play this angle because there's nowhere to go. More likely, somebody's going to be playing this angle because this gives them an escape route.
Can't go there.
They can escape out this way, take a few more shots, and you can even just escape all the way out into screens and then and survive the push from the attackers. So that's where you're more likely going to see people. Whether they're Omen or not is going to be playing from here, and then they can run back to here and try to skip it their way into screens, and then retake from that side. So there it is. That's the map. Simple enough. Easy wins, guys.